probably be 8.
Okay.
Most of my that so I first one.
And then so as time goes by and she continues, because even though babies when they're first born, they don't have a clear vision, all right, but they can make outlines. And she began by making that memory based on the outline. Anything that didn't fit into that outline, probably no accommodations about. Even now that she's got better vision, not full vision, but better. So our temporal lobe is going to help with this. And one of the cool things that I've learned about the facial portion, every day of your life, as you are walking, talking, going shopping, whether you pay attention or not, your brain is taking a snapshot of every face you see, of every face that it sees, whether you paid attention or not. But that is kind of cool. Now, look at this right here. Memories of plans. Well, I have plans this weekend to go somewhere, and I'm going to go as, too far away from Halloween. I'm going to go as, I don't know, cartoon character. I'm making actual plans to go somewhere. That is extremely high order thinking from parts of my frontal region of the brain. The frontal region is going to be very involved in higher order thinking, which is kind of cool. So when we talk about memory, we're going to see that there is sensory memory, that rhymes, very short term, letting us know what is this environment that's around us. Hot, cold, pain, pressure, the amount of light, sound. Very short term information, because that's all sensory input. And that changes constantly. Your brain is, man, it's accommodating to that very quickly, and it's taking in a ton of information. Short term. This is the point I'm permanently stuck in, and because I don't remember a phone number long enough to write it down. When I was growing up, see, I'm betting y'all have y'all ever seen that little picture that says, just don't know the struggle I had? Yeah, I had the phone on the wall that still had the dial, okay, and the long cord, all right, and well, because it was still cord. Oh man, I was probably late teens, early 20s before cordless came around. Cordless came around, man, it was like, oh, you know, you could maybe walk from here to here and not be stuck by that. You couldn't go very far because, you know, they hadn't quite got it all figured out yet. Yeah, I still had to, like, if there was a song that I liked, I had to have that cassette. In the beginning, I had 8-track tapes. Anybody know? Oh man, my first car got the 8-track tape player. Thought that was the coolest thing ever. Okay, that's how old I am. And then cassette came out, and if you had a favorite song that you wanted to record, you had to make sure you were standing right there as the guy on the radio played it, so you could push record and get it. Oh yeah, yeah. So at this age, I'm stuck in short term. All right, all my long term's used up. My brain's like, oh no. No more room on the desktop here. Okay, don't do anything. We're not gonna learn it. Short term it's only retained for a few seconds to minutes. Like, for example, looking up a phone number to dial it would be a good idea or a good example of short term. For long-term memory, we're going to say we can have long-term be declarative, being able to declare something like facts, or explicit. For the long term, hippocampus comes into play because the hippocampus, all right, is what we say is actual memory because it is adding actual pieces of sensory information coming in with it. Was there a sound? Was there a smell? Was there a taste? Sometimes though, long-term memory. Can long-term memory stay very clear? Like maybe someone telling a story about something and then somebody comes like, that's not how that was. Now you know it went like blank blank. So can long-term actually stay actual? The reason for that, we've got the amygdala, and that's going to add emotions, which can sort of like make that memory maybe not be as difficult as the situation actually was, or more difficult, for example. Okay? The other type of memory that we have, procedural. You are learning a procedure. For the example they're giving, riding a bike. That old saying about, oh, you never forget. You might not forget how to ride a bike. Somebody told me I had to ride a bike right now. I'd be in trouble. Okay? Because I probably still need the training wheels back on it. Because I haven't ridden one in so long. But it would come back to me because I have a procedure in my head. People who might work in manufacturing, who might work in the lab, whatever the case might be, because they're doing something over and over, it's a procedure. That will become long-term. Other stuff that we do, like for me, I guess teaching this topic has become more of a procedure for me. Can you tell me why it might be that way for me? Well, okay, I've been doing it for a while. What else do you guys see me do as I teach? I move a lot. I walk around. What else do I do?
Place a lot of reflection on like the words.
Yes, I don't stand up here and just simply read a PowerPoint and say, okay, you've got to remember this for the test. I can't do that, all right? I'm told that I'm very animated, and I had a friend of mine send me this little picture, and it was like, I think it was like this cat making a really funny face, and it said on there, I'm sorry for what my face said. Because, you know, I guess I make lots of, you know, facial expressions. One other thing I do.
Question? Yeah.
I talk with my hand. Hold my hand still, I can't figure out one thing. I literally can't. So for me, I'm placing a lot of other pieces into what I'm doing. So a lot of what I've done, I've not only Because the only way to actually learn information, like sitting down, reading the textbook, how many of you would love to be able to sit down, read that textbook, and be like, "Ah, I understand it all"? I know I would. All right? It's creating connection. You've got to make sure that you don't just simply learn it to say it back and forget it. You've got to learn how to put the pieces together. That becomes real important. So, memory, ever thought about how much trouble it is for the body to make memories? Now, think about this for a second. Traumatic brain injury. How could it be clinically significant? I've mentioned that the frontal area is very good for making those plans, thinking about the socialization. The hippocampus, really good at detecting the sensory information that comes in with it. You haven't thought about like some of the other lobes, like occipital, for example. Traumatic brain injury could do what, possibly, to our ability for memory? Destroy it. We could either lose, like the ability for short-term, people only remember long-term, or vice versa, or not be able to make memories at all. Oh, what was that movie? 51st Date. And the guy that was like 10 seconds or something, y'all remember something for just a few seconds? I mean, I don't know if anything that severe exists. I'm sure it does. But, you know, brain injuries are very common. The reason we need sleep to make sure that a long-term memory forms is for this to happen right here. This activity where I've got neuron to neuron. What do you notice? The presynaptic versus the postsynaptic. Everybody knows what I mean by that, right? And the presynaptic, it has its product. Its product, in this case, for long-term memory, is glutamate. For this to occur at sleep during the night, it would allow for the release of the glutamate. And it would allow on this postsynaptic neuron the ability for it to be activated. And if it gets activated, all the processes that would come into play so that that neuron can, so that that postsynaptic neuron can actually become the memory. Get your neurons firing, so to speak. So, there's a lot that can come along with that, with long-term memory. Then a traumatic event. Harm neuron.
Yeah.
All right? Such as PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Trauma can come in a lot of ways. All right? It could be an event that happened in your life. It can be something that you've had to go through. And yet,